So you need to have now. That's why definitely a very good concept. Multiple multi-cloud artificial uh, so these are all the concepts what so this is the now this is how we understand why we need to learn by so here how so that there is the computer that
Okay, just give me a second. Now, can you confirm me? Am I audible? Is my voice is clearly audible to
Yes,
you?
yes, it's now fine.
Yeah. Cool. So now, why we need to learn the Linux? What is the necessity of learning the Linux over here? So when we are discussing about this, let us go through the main concept. For example, if I gave you a Windows operating system, how many of you? Okay. Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible? Can you please confirm
Yes,
me?
yes, Chaitanya, yes.
Good. So now, how many of you are very familiar with Windows operating system? That is my first question. Mhm. Every day you will be working with the Windows operating system only, right? In your computers, you will be having the Windows operating system. So now, how many of you are familiar with Linux operating system? For example, if I gave you a computer, or else
Voice is breaking.
AWS server and system. I want to start can you please check your internet connection once? I think I am good from my side. Hello. Is still my voice is breaking for you?
No, it is now.
Hmm. So at least confirm me that. Okay. So yeah, coming back to the point, if I give you the Linux operating system, is it possible for you to operate without knowing the operating system, how operating system basic, how I have to navigate from one way to the other way? So is it possible for you to work with the Linux operating system now without knowing the operating system? If I gave you the Windows operating system will have the functionality of GUI, graphical user interface. Even small children can able to access that Windows operating system. But when you come to the Linux operating system, it will be difficult. So I will call Linux operating system as professional OS. Okay, of course, Windows is also, so whoever are the fans of Windows, I'm not hurting your feelings, but the point is Linux is more used operating system in the IT industry. So that's why you need to have a basic understanding about the Linux. And not only that, Linux is completely free and open source. Okay, and we will discuss about the Linux. So, and not only that, when you come to the security related concept, security will be very high with the Linux operating system. So these are all making the Linux as one of the most usable operating systems in the IT industry. We'll discuss about what is Linux and how the Linux was developed. But why Linux? Why Linux means it's a freeware and open source. And if you see the security, high security operating system is the Linux operating system, and it's a more professional way of running the applications inside a Linux operating system. So that's why we are going, majority number of the IT companies are going into the Linux way. In which ways we'll learn about that. So now, before I go into the next concept, first let me ask you a question. So in the previous like in the last session we discussed about there will be an application. So application, where this application will be hosted, application will be hosted on a server. So for example, there is a developer who will be developing an application. This is the application which is developed by the developer. Where this application is going to be deployed, the application will be deployed inside a server. So where this server will be available? Server will be available in the data center, or else the server will be available inside the, what I can say, the server will be available inside the server room. For example, if you take on-premises environment, what is this on-premises environment? Just forgot about the word called as on-premises. Okay, so in general, if I have to tell you, in your office, okay, in your office, there will be a server room. So inside the server room, we will run the application. Just remember like this. Okay. So application will be running on the in a server. Okay. So now you created an application. Just remember, you have created an application, which is like an e-commerce website you created. Okay. You created an e-commerce website. In general, at the starting stages itself, the application will be available to all the customers, or else all the customers will be using that application. For example, in the starting days of WhatsApp, how many people know about the WhatsApp? In the starting days of Telegram, how many people know about Telegram? Or else in the starting days. So right now you are using what I can say, Flipkart. You are using the Flipkart. So now, can you tell me? So when Flipkart was introduced into the IT, I mean, when the Flipkart was introduced into this e-commerce world, can anybody tell me about that? So if you don't remember, that's okay, no problem. But the point is, now if you see the Flipkart is becoming one of the world's trendiest e-commerce website. Okay, so the Flipkart was introduced in October 2007. October 2007. But from when you are using the Flipkart? Genuinely, you tell me, guys. From when you are using the Flipkart application? Yeah, I want you to talk about that. Why
From
this
last
is
4 to 5 years only.
important, I will tell you. But see, I am using Flipkart from 2015. Okay, I will say that from 2015. Is that fine? So Flipkart, but majority number of people are using that application from 2014, for example, 2014 or 2015. From then only it has become the popular. Now, if you see how many years of difference is there, so the application is started on 2007, but now that came into the worldwide access or also India-wide access from 2014, which means that it took 7 years of struggle for the Flipkart. Now, if you see Amazon is introduced in 2006. Okay, 1996 onwards, you are having Amazon. But from when we are using the Amazon.com or else Amazon e-commerce website, we are using from 2010. For example, if you take, so from how many years of struggle is there? So every e-commerce website, whatever the e-commerce websites or also any application that you are taking, for example, WhatsApp is there. WhatsApp in the beginning, nobody know about the WhatsApp. From 2010 onwards or else 2011, 2012 onwards, WhatsApp has been very popular. But from 2007 onwards, WhatsApp is there. Okay. So like that, what is happening? There are some application. Instantly, the applications will not be successful. So at that particular time, so where your applications will be running, applications will be running, applications will be running in the servers. When the applications are running inside the servers, now, for example, if there is a customer is there, so if the customer want to access this application, for example, you want to purchase a computer, so now you will open the Flipkart website. So you are a customer. So when you type www.application, then what is going to happen? The request will come to the server. It will hit on to the server, and from the server, the application will be sent back to the user. So this is how the application will be available for the end customer. Now, what is happening? Only in the initial stages, the load on the server will be very less. The load on the server will be very less. For example, you set up a mobile shop. Okay, in your town or else in your city, you set up a mobile shop. In the beginning, that particular shop will not be very overloaded, very crowded. Okay, so only a few people will be coming to the shop and they will purchase the mobiles and they will go back. So once the quality and whatever, of course, mobiles doesn't have the point called as quality, but the point is the service, how you are providing the service and how the customers are satisfied with your company, how the customers are satisfied with your what I can say, services that you are providing through that shop. So depending on that, the crowd for that shop or else the customers for that shop will be increased. In the same manner, whatever the application that you are running on a server, initially the server will have very low load of customer intake, which means the number of customers who is accessing this application will be very less. But slowly, what is going to happen if you are providing a proper service and the customers are very satisfied with the services, then slowly the customers will start using that happen. So simply, if I have to tell you, just give me a second. So simply, if I have to tell you, for example, Swiggy application is there. So in the beginning, how many people use the Swiggy application? Very less number of people are using the Swiggy application. Zomato application is there. Very less people are using the Zomato application. But now if you see, okay, if you are not able to cook in your food, either you will be selecting any one of these applications. Either you will go with the Swiggy or else you will go with the Zomato. Can anybody disagree with me? Is anybody is going to disagree with me? Which application you will be using if you are hungry or else if you want to have some food? Which application you will be using? Come on, guys.
Sir, Swiggy.
Swiggy. Okay. So you will be using Swiggy. So some people will be using Zomato. Some people will be now, because of this number of customers intake, what happened in general, Swiggy is providing only, previously it is providing the food. It is just a food delivery app. Now what has happened in the Swiggy, they gave so many services like Instamart. Okay, because of the heavy customer operation is there. Now, when the more number of customers are accessing this application, is single server will be sufficient for me to run that application. You understand my question? If more number of customers are there and more number of customers are accessing this application, is that single server is sufficient? For example, you are having a very small room. In a small room, you and your family is staying. Only two people are staying. For example, some relatives came to your home. They are staying in the same room. So two plus two, 4 people are there. Suddenly, what happens? Suddenly, the rush is increased more. More number of relatives are coming because you announced a function. More number of people are coming. Is that single room is sufficient for all the people? Will that single room accommodate all the people who are coming into your home? Guys, I'm asking a general question. Can you please unmute yourself and answer the question? I just want to know, are you able to understand or not?
Yes, sir. It is not sufficient for more than 4 people.
So at least you answer that, please, no? So if you sit silent, see, one thing, guys, I'm very clear about this. If you get hurt also, I'm very sorry about that, but I don't want any people who are sitting calmly in the session. I can run a session with only one guy, or else I can run a session only with 2 guys who are more responsive and more attentive. I don't want any people to stay here who is sitting dumb. I don't want any people who are not attentive to my sessions. I'm really sorry, but this is the case. If I'm making, or else if I hurt you also, I'm really sorry about that. But I want the candidates to be more interactive. I already said this in the last session and I'm repeating the same in this session also. Why? Because if you interact only, then I can understand, okay, these are in or else they are all on the same line. If you don't interact with me when I ask you a question, if you don't interact with me or else if you don't talk, then I don't want the candidates to be there in my session, guys. I can stop the session. I'm very sorry about that, but that is the case. Any which ways, coming back to the point, so that for 4 people only, that room is So we can accommodate only for the 4 people. But if I go with some 10 people, that room will not be accommodatable. So in the same manner, if I am having a single server in right now in the initial stages, that is okay. Only a few people, a few requests are coming, my application will be, so I can provide the application to the rest of the people who are accessing. But suddenly, if the load on the server increases, then what is going to happen? At that point, the server cannot survive, or else the server cannot serve that many number of requests to the candidates. So for example, right now, 1,000 requests are coming to the application. 1,000 people are requesting the application. So the server can provide the response back to the users. But suddenly, if some 1 lakh people are at a time hitting onto the server, or 10 lakh people are hitting onto the server, then the server will not provide the response to all 10 lakh people. So then what is going to happen? The server will go into a hang state. So what I have to do? For example, you tell me what I have to do. For example, there is a mobile shop. Okay, there is a mobile shop. You own that mobile shop. In the mobile shop, you have only one person who is who will provide the services to the customers, or else there is only one salesperson is there. Now, if you are having only one salesperson, then what you are going to do, you put an offer. So 50% flat off on every mobile, not a single mobile. On every branded mobile, we are providing 50% off. Okay, so that is what you have given the advertisements, you made the marketing, and you made that this is available to all the customers, all the people who are residing in the city. So now, when you announce 50% off on a mobile, so is single salesperson is sufficient to sell the, or else is salesperson is sufficient to tackle the entire crowd. So if I say that there is a 50% off on the course, if I say that there is a 50% off on the mobiles, so how much crowd will be? In general, how much crowd will be? When I announce a sale, how much crowd it will be? Is single person is sufficient to sell the goods to those customers, to sell the mobiles to those customers? Is a single person can handle all the customers? Is it possible?
No, sir.
No, it is not possible. So then what I have to do? I need to increase the
Salesperson.
yeah, I need to increase the salesperson. So I have to increase the more number of salespersons, so that what is going to happen, whatever the crowd that is coming, that can be handled, that can be balanced. So that is called as load balancing. So when I increase the more number of salespersons, then the crowd will be manageable. So in the same manner, if I am having a single server, it is not sufficient for me to run this application. So what I have to do to reduce the request, or else whatever that is coming. So now what I will do, I will increase more number of servers. I will increase more number of servers. Here comes the problem. In the on-premises environment, in your office, it is not possible to increase the servers instantly. It is not possible to increase the servers instantly. Within 5 minutes, I want to increase the servers. So it is not possible in your company. So what I have to do, I need to purchase the server. I need to install the server. I need to create the network. I need to provide the security for the server. I need to add the server to the firewall. I need to provide a static IP address to the server. These many number of things that I have to do on the on-premises environment, which lead to the more, so a single server has to handle more amount of load. So this is not possible in the on-premises. Suddenly, if I have to increase more number of server, increasing more number of servers means scaling. So scaling is not possible in on-prem. Okay, in the office, or else in your organizations, or else in your data center. So scaling is not possible. And the second one is, for example, if you want to have the server in your office, what you have to do, if server should be installed in the office, what are the steps that we have to do here is, first one is select the manufacturer of the server. So either it might be Dell, or else it might be HP, or else it might be IBM. So any one particular hardware you have to select. And the second one is install operating system in the server. And the third one is
Sir, any operating system?
any operating system. You can install depending on your requirement. Either it might be Linux or else it might be Windows. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So install an operating system in the server. And the third one is provide network connectivity. Provide network connectivity. So you have to provide it. And then what you have to do after providing this, you need to provide the security also. Provide security. And the fifth one will be monitoring of the servers. So whenever we install the application, so the fifth one will be installing the application and its dependency. Okay. And the sixth one will be what I can say, providing security, installing the application, monitoring the servers. So how much amount of CPU and RAM that is consumed by that application, we have to monitor that. Monitor and maintaining the application. So maintaining the application and as well as maintaining of your server. These are all the things that you should take care. So if you have to install a new server, if single server is unable to tackle the load, so then when you want to install a new server, then you have to go through all these things. So it is going to take lots of time. So it is not possible in the on-premises environment instantly to scale up. And the second one is, so instantly scaling up of servers are not possible in the on-premises. And the second one will be, so if you want to purchase this server, if you want to purchase an infrastructure or else if you want to purchase a real server, the hardware, then it will cost you around 3 lakh rupees, minimum 3 lakhs. Okay, minimum 3 lakhs. So if you are going for a high-end service, it might cost you up to some 5 to 10 lakh rupees. 5 lakhs to 10 lakh rupees. Initial investment will be there. Initial investment will be there. So this much amount of initial investment I cannot put on a single server. Why? Because for example, if you are having a very good company like Infosys or TCS, which are very highly developed and everything is good, then you can purchase instantly. But we are into for example, it is a startup company. For a startup company to put 3 to 5 lakhs, it is very, very risky project. So then I cannot go for purchasing of the servers. Without purchasing the servers, how I can run the application? For example, if you want to have power in your home, power in the sense current in your home, then are you going to install the power plant beside your home? Are you going to install power plant opposite to your home so that you can continuously get the power from that power plant? What you are going to do? In general, if you want to get power to your home, what you are going to do? What I will do is I will go to the nearest power station. I mean, substations will be there. I will go to the substation. I will ask for a meter connection. So they will come and give the meter connection. Every month, how much amount of power I am consuming, I will pay that amount to my whoever are the distribution company is there. For example, Southern Distribution, for us, Southern Distribution is there. So whoever are the Southern Distribution are there, for them, I will pay the how much amount of power I have used. I will pay that much amount of bill, electricity bill. So that is how we are going to do. So which means that pay as you go. So electricity bill will be like pay as you go, which means that you are renting the current, you are renting the power. So how much you are renting depending on how many appliances that you are having. If you are having a single fan, single TV and a single computer, then it will be like you are going to get some 500 rupees per month. If you are having an AC, a TV and fridge, motor, and then if you are having 2 to 3 air coolers and 2 to 3 fans, lights and everything is there, then you are going to get some 3,000 rupees. So if you are having only single fan and single TV and you are charged with the electricity bill of 3,000 rupees, are you going to pay that? We are not going to pay that. Why? Because we did not use that much amount of power. So that is what the same thing happens with the cloud environment also. When you compare with the on-premises environment, in the on-premises environment, I need to do the initial investment. But when you come to the cloud environment, the best part is we need to go with rental basis. Rental basis in the sense we are not going to purchase any servers. We are not going to purchase any hardware. We are going to rent them. Okay. So that is what a main benefit with the cloud environment compared to the on-premises environment. First one is scaling problem is there. Scaling is not possible in the on-premises environment, and as well as a rental basis is not possible in the on-prem, and as well as pay as you go is also not there. So all these features are available in the cloud environment. So that is the reason why everyone are going on to the cloud. Every company is going on to the cloud. The first and foremost reason is pay as you go. Pay as you go model. So which means that you created a server. You are using the server only for 8 hours. Only for 8 hours you have to pay. If you are using a server for 24 hours, then you have to pay for 24 hours. So how much time you are using the server, that much time you have to pay for the cloud service providers like AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, like that. And the second one is pay as you go method, and the second one is no initial investment is needed. That is also comes under the pay as you go itself. And the next one is scalability. Scalability means, for example, I am running a server. Suddenly the load is increasing on the server. So I have to increase the number of servers. So I can easily increase that. So that is what we call it as scalability. And the third one is availability. What is meant by availability? The most number of the servers that are available to me, where I can access. For example, if you are in an office, your server is in an office, then every day you have to go to your office. You have to, if you want to connect to your server, you have to connect to your office network only. Other than that, we don't have any another option. But in the cloud environment, if we have the internet, even in the forest also, we can access the server. So the availability of the machines, the availability of the servers will be very, very high when you compare with the on-premises environment. These are all making the cloud as one of the best infrastructure provider for our IT company. So that is the reason nowadays IT companies are going ahead onto the cloud environment. Everyone are choosing why everyone are choosing cloud environment. The reason behind it is because of the main three reasons: pay as you go method, scalability, high availability. Now the question is, okay, I understand what is pay as you go, scalability and availability. Now what is meant by a cloud? So can anybody tell me what is meant by cloud? Can anybody tell me what do you know about cloud? Please tell me about that.
Having servers virtually.
Having servers virtually. Very good. Virtual in the sense? Okay. Imaginary. Let us suppose things. Anyone? What is meant by cloud? Shabir? Manoj? Deepak? What is meant by cloud?
Sir, we can access from anywhere.
We can access from anywhere. Okay, very good. Okay, good. Any another? Thank you, Deepak. Any another? Manoj, what is meant by cloud? Okay. So now, cloud means, what is cloud? In general, cloud means accessing of IT services such as servers, databases, and storage. Okay, databases, storage. Like that, we will be having so many another services. Okay, accessing of IT services such as servers, databases, and storage, and extra, and through internet. How we are going to access these services over the internet? It is called as cloud. So that is called as a cloud. So accessing of the IT services over the internet is called as a cloud. What are the IT services? Servers, load balancers, network configurations, VPNs, and then storage, and then you can call it as like databases, MySQL and NoSQL databases, data warehouses, artificial intelligence, machine learning, whatever the IT services that you take, everything is available inside the cloud. So how we are able to access? We can access them through the internet only. If we don't have the internet, we will not be able to access it. So if I have to define the cloud, cloud is a provisioner of IT services over the internet. So cloud will provide the IT services over the internet. So that is called as a cloud. Now, okay, this is fine. Can you give me a live example of these services? Okay. So when you are, for example, let me take from the morning. So from morning, when you wake up, the alarm will be there. So alarm is directly connected to the time and it is connected to the internet. The second one is if you are not having any groceries. Nowadays, what is happening? Nobody is going outside of their home. Everything is coming to their home itself. If you don't have any groceries, then you will order it on Blinkit, Zepto. These are all the examples of your these are all the applications which are running in the cloud. Okay. And then if you want to go to your office, you will book a cab like Ola, Uber. These are all the applications that are running in the cloud. And in the afternoon, you are hungry. Okay. You don't carry your lunch box. Swiggy, Zomato. They are also deployed in the cloud itself. And in the evening, you want to go for a movie. So Book My Show, Paytm, these are all available in the cloud. If you want to do the transactions, PhonePe is the best example of the services which are using AWS EC2 instances. PhonePe is deployed in the AWS EC2 instances. PhonePe, Google Pay, these are all the cloud applications. And in the night, if you want to have some food, so then also you will order from Swiggy or Zomato, or else if you want to dine in, easy dine, like that you are having the applications. These are all the cloud related. If you want to travel, IRCTC is one of the best example for the Amazon EC2, the application which is using AWS EC2 instances. IRCTC is one of the application. Redbus is one of the application. Abibus is one of the applications. So whatever the applications that you are taking, every application is majorly depending on the cloud environment only. Sir, I want to know about the entertainment sector. Hotstar. So you are watching IPL, no? So Hotstar is one of the application which is deployed in the AWS EC2. The best example is in the entertainment sector. Have you ever heard about this word, sir? Who doesn't know about this? Did you know about this application?
Yes, sir.
Everyone will know about that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Netflix is a major 100% of its applications, 100% of the applications of Netflix are running in AWS environment, only. So why? First, what Netflix has done here is, so I want to run my applications. So Netflix is a 24/7 available. So it should available for 24/7. Why? Because in the entire world, it is not related to a single region or a single country. Netflix is popular worldwide. So some people will be using in India now. So now at the time of 5:15, some people will be using Netflix in India. At the same time, in US, it is early in the morning, it's early hours. So majority number of the people may not be working on may not be watching that. But there are the people who will do the binge watch. And there are the people who is from Australia. They will be accessing the Netflix application. So the entire application, so the entire world will be accessing that application called as Netflix. When the entire world is accessing the application Netflix, if there is a downtime, if the application is not available, then it is going to lose their customers. So Netflix don't want that. What Netflix wants 100% uptime. I want 100% uptime. So if we are deploying, so what Netflix people said to the AWS is that if we want to deploy our application in your environment, we need to check your environment, what I can say, durability and high availability. We want to check whether the AWS is durable or else whether the AWS is highly available. So to do that, what they have done here is they have prepared a application called as Chaos Monkey. You can search in the internet also, Chaos Monkey. What they have done, they introduced this Chaos Monkey application. What this application is going to do now? So they will run the application, they will run their Netflix application in the AWS environment. For example, this is the AWS environment. In the AWS environment, they are deploying some servers. So these are the Netflix servers they are deploying in the AWS environment. Okay. When they deploy these servers in the AWS environment and they run their application, for example, they are running their Netflix application in this servers. Suddenly, with the help of this particular tool called as Chaos Monkey, okay, the Netflix application is running on all the servers. Now, suddenly what happened? Because of this tool called as Chaos Monkey, they killed majority number of servers. They killed majority number of the servers in the sense they removed the servers. Okay, when they remove the servers, only 2 servers are there, but the load is very high. So they thought that AWS cannot survive. But what happened in AWS, we are having certain services called as auto scaling groups, auto scaling. And we are having another concept called as ELB, elastic load balancing, and high availability zones are available. So depending on this, what they have done here is they made the application highly available. Even though the Chaos Monkey has deleted multiple servers, automatically the self-healing, because of the self-healing mechanism of AWS, it automatically created some more servers, even though the Chaos Monkey has deleted. So then the Netflix has got the confidence that our application will not be down at any given point of time when we run in the AWS environment. So till now, the 100% of the applications related to the Netflix are running in the AWS environment only. This is one of the best example why we need to go for the AWS. And the next one is, if you see NASA is also using the AWS services for data warehousing. Okay, for data warehousing, NASA is also for the data analytics and to check whatever. So NASA has sent a satellite to the Mars. From Mars, whatever the data that is coming, the rover will transmit the data to the AWS application. So the application which is running on the AWS environment, and this AWS will do the data analytics and provides the clear-cut data to the scientists. So NASA is also one of the best example who are using the AWS. And not only that, future 500 companies, Fortune 500 companies, whatever are there, among those 85% of the companies are using AWS. These are all not imaginary facts that I am telling. You can search in your Google or else you can search anywhere. They are going to tell you about this. So that is the reason why AWS has become a predominant prioritized cloud environment in the cloud service provider. So AWS is one of the topmost service provider. Not only that, why we need to learn the AWS. So if you see, AWS will be providing free tier application. I mean, there is a free tier accounts can be created, but now that has been changed. I will tell you what is changed. I will let you know about that. And the second one is community is very high. So what is meant by community? For example, if you got a doubt in Azure, when you search in YouTube related to Azure, a few videos will be available. But when you search for AWS, there are hundreds of videos are available in YouTube. Not only that, if you want to check in Stack Overflow, the community is very high for AWS compared to the Azure. So that's why the community related concept is very high with AWS. If you get any doubt, you can easily be resolved by checking all the AWS. Not only that, 50 to 60% of the jobs are mainly focused on the AWS employee. I mean, AWS engineers only. Those people who know about the AWS, 50 to 60% of the jobs are primarily dependent on AWS cloud and DevOps. So this is all becoming a predominant. These features of AWS, these categorizations of AWS as making that AWS is one of the most learnable tool in the entire world. The first one is AWS and the second one is Azure, and then we can go with GCP and then Oracle. We have virtual VMware cloud. Like that, we are having so many public clouds. Among that, AWS is the number one in position. So that is the reason we are included AWS into our course. Okay. So that is about why we need to go with the cloud and what is the cloud and why we need to learn AWS. What are the best examples that I can give related to the AWS environment. So this is about the concept of your cloud environment. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Questions? Questions, guys? Questions, please.
Based on the scope, comparing the AWS and GCP, like how much percentage AWS and GCP are covering?
AWS is covering most. GCP is very less. If I have to take 100%, among the 100%, 50% is covered by AWS, 40% is with Azure, and 10% is with GCP. Slowly, GCP is also increasing its market. I'm not saying that GCP is the back, but slowly it is increasing its market. But right now, the most used cloud is AWS. That's it.
Hi all, this is Priya. I have question. So will this course cover AWS and Terraform as well?
AWS, Terraform, we cover the entire DevOps tools, including Terraform, Kubernetes, Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, everything will be covered.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So what we are going to cover in this course? It's a very good question. In AWS, basically what we are going to cover here is the first one is related to the networking topic. That is VPC, VPC theory, VPC NAT gateway, VPC endpoints, VPC endpoints, come on. And the next one is VPC VPN connection, and then VPC transit gateway, and then VPC security groups and NACL. So these are the concepts that we are going to cover in the networking. And the second one is EC2. In EC2, we are going to cover about types of EC2. And then we will be going ahead into the concept of what was that? Launch templates, reserved instances, and spot instances, AMI, and then EBS volumes, snapshots, and ELB, elastic load balancers, NLB, network load balancer. Under ELB, you will be having NLB, network load balancer, application load balancer, and then auto scaling groups. And we'll be discussing about what was that? Route 53, global accelerator, and CloudFront. What else we are going to discuss? Yeah. So CloudFront, and then we'll be about WAF, Web Application Firewall, IAM. Under IAM, we will be discussing about users and roles, and then JSON scripting, how to write the JSON script, users and roles, policy creation, Active Directory. Okay, and we will be discussing about IAM Identity Center, IAM Identity Center. Yeah, so this is about FSX. So this is also one of the concepts that will be covered inside the Active Directory itself, but it is a storage concept. When you come to the storage, we'll be discussing about S3 buckets, S3 Glacier, S3 storage gateway, storage gateway. And under S3, we will be having so many concepts related to the properties and S3, different types of S3 buckets, Okay, these are all the things that we are going to cover. S3 bucket policies, access points, we are going to cover under the S3. I don't want to include all this into this concept, but yes, we are going to cover the entire S3 buckets, storage gateway, and then AWS backup, and we'll be discussing about EFS, Elastic File System, and yeah, so this is about the storage. And coming back to the next one, simple notification service and SQS, simple queue services. And then we will be discussing about, if possible, we will be discussing about Athena and Glue, AWS Athena and Glue. And then we'll be discussing about RDS, relational databases, how we can create the relational databases. I will show you with an application that is MySQL or Postgres. Mostly I will be using the Postgres application. And then DynamoDB. This will comes under the NoSQL configuration. And then we will be discussing about concepts related to CloudWatch, Event Bridge. Okay, and then cloud formation. We will be discussing about the cloud formation. These are the some of the concepts that we are going to cover in the entire AWS. So this is the syllabus that we are going to cover. You can see it's only the basic outline that I have given, but when once we go into the topic, I'll try to cover everything. Okay, so this is just an outline that I'm giving. And then in the DevOps, what we are going to learn here is, I will provide you any which ways, I will provide you the syllabus. In the DevOps, we are going to cover shell scripting. And the second one will be Git. Inside the Git, we will be having concept related to .git directory, Git rename, Git rebase, Git merge, and Git cherry pick. And then like in the GitHub actions, GitHub, we will be having pull request, push request, and you are having merge conflicts, and there will be concepts related to GitHub actions. Like that, there are so many topics that we need to cover in Git. We'll discuss about that in the Git. And the next one will be Terraform. In Terraform, we will be discussing about Terraform basics, Terraform functions, Terraform modules, and Terraform enterprise. And the next one will be Ansible. In Ansible, we'll be discussing about client-server architecture, how Ansible will be configured. So how Ansible we can install on the servers, and how we can run the applications, and Ansible Vault, Ansible playbooks. These are all the things that we are going to learn in the Ansible. And the fifth one will be Docker. So in Docker, we'll be discussing about Docker configuration, Docker architecture, and then we'll be discussing about the Docker lifecycle, and then Docker images, Docker networking, Docker volumes, bind modes, and then Docker Swarm and Docker Compose. These are things that we are going to cover in Docker. And when you come to the Kubernetes, I cannot tell you about the syllabus, but because it's very huge. In Kubernetes, we'll be discussing about Kubernetes architecture, workload components, and what we are having: services, ingress controller probes, sidecar containers, namespaces, resource quotas, and then we will be having the advanced scheduling and RBAC, and then we will be having storage, like persistent volume claims, storage classes, dynamic provisioning. There are so many things that we have to cover in storage, Helm chart, STO service mesh, GitOps. So these are all the things that we are going to cover. And then in Jenkins, we will come to the Jenkins. So in Jenkins, we will be learning about the high availability of Jenkins application, how we can make it as highly available, what are the different plugins that we can use in the Jenkins, how we can do the user management, how we can configure the users. And later on, we will be discussing about the topic related to what was that? Creating the pipelines, multi-branch pipeline, and what are the different types of pipelines that we are having. Okay, scripted pipelines and declarative pipelines, how we can write the declarative pipeline, multi-branched pipelines, and how we can use the plugins inside the pipelines, how we can automate the entire flow. So that we will see in the Jenkins. And then we will be discussing about the Prometheus and Grafana. And finally, we will be discussing about SonarQube. And then Maven. So these are the tools that we are going to learn in DevOps. So I just gave you the blueprint, but DevOps is going to take somewhere like some 2 months. Why? Because these are all underlyingly we will be having so many topics. In the same manner, here you can see these are some of the services that I have said you. But underlyingly, we will be having so many other services that we have to cover. We will cover everything. So here I did not mention systems manager, sessions manager, run command, like that, parameter store. So there are so many things that we need to cover. But I did not mention all these things inside the AWS, but we are going to cover all those. And as well as in DevOps, I just gave you the blueprint. But if you go inside the DevOps, all these concepts will have its own submodules. Okay, so we will be covering all the submodules and then we can continue with the rest of the sessions. Okay, any questions from your end? Questions, please. Do you understand the syllabus over here?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, good. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. I hope I made it very clear for you. So that's it from my end. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or else we can discuss for today.
Sir, when we learned all the things, we use in real project.
I am going to train you on the project itself. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay, sir.
Anything, Manoj? You want to talk anything?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Priya, is it clear for you? You
Yeah.
asked me the.
It is going to be daily class and for 1 hour, or how it is?
It will be daily session. It will be depending on the topic. It might be ranging. Most probably it will be 1 hour. But if the topic is long, or else if I have to explain you a few more features of that particular topic, then it will be extended to 1.5 hours. So daily, Monday to Friday, you will have the session 4:30 to mostly 5:30. Make it as 5:45. Won't take more than that. But some days, if I have to prolong, like if that is really important, I need to cover that topic in a single stretch, then it will be going like 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Yes, guys. Any questions? Any doubts?
No,
No, sir.
Okay. Okay then. Okay then. Have a nice day. And tomorrow also we will have the same session at 4:30. Same session in the sense we will be discussing about basics of Linux. I will start the basics of Linux, fundamentals of Linux. Tomorrow will be the last demo for you. So whoever are interested in joining the course, you can join from tomorrow. And you can pay the fees and you can get enrolled for that. And you will get a link, and that link will be different. So whatever the link that you got for today, this link will be only applicable for 2 days. Like today, tomorrow, and from day after tomorrow, the link will be changed. So I request you, if you are interested in joining the course, please join the course. And that's it from my end. Have a nice day, and we'll meet in the next session, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.